Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Stephanie from the Palmer branch of the Easton Area Public Library, and I'm happy to join you today to talk to you about fairy tales. Do you know what a fairy tale is? A fairy tale is a children's story about magical and imaginary beings and places. It could be stories about wizards or giants, fairies, elves, or princesses. Every fairy tale has a moral or a lesson to be learned. Here at the Palmer branch, we have a lot of fairy tales, so I'd like to show you some of my favorite. One is The Ugly Duckling. This story is retold by Sarah Delmege. This is a story about a little duckling, and unfortunately he was not very pretty. All his friends kept saying to him, "You're the strangest looking duckling we ever did see." Until one day, this ugly duckling turned into a beautiful swan. The moral behind that story is to always accept yourself just the way you are. Another famous fairy tale is The Gingerbread Man by Mary McKinnon. Now, we all know the story of the Gingerbread Man. One day, a little old woman was baking cookies. When she opened the oven door to see if they were done, out jumped the gingerbread man. Not only did he jump out of the oven, he ran out the front door and down the lane yelling, "Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." Until he trusts something that he should not have trusted. The moral of this story is not to trust anyone without knowing them. Another one of my favorites is Hansel and Gretel. This story is retold by Randy Randall. This is a story of a little boy and a little girl that are lost in the woods. There they come across a cottage that is made out of all candy treats. So, them being hungry, yum, they decide to taste one of the treats. And then they hear, "Nibble, nibble like a mouse, who's nibbling on my house?" Uh-oh, they're in trouble. Why don't you stop in the library and see what actually happens? The moral behind that story is don't trust strangers, and especially don't disobey your parents. And the last one I'd like to talk to you about is The Princess and the Pea. Once there was a king and a queen who lived in a beautiful castle, and they had a son, the prince. They were looking for a bride. They needed it to be a real princess. Well, it was a stormy night, and there was a knock at the door. And when they answered the door, there was a very pretty young woman, all wet, asking for shelter for the night. She was welcomed into their castle, but the queen played a trick to see if this young girl could possibly be a real princess. You're going to have to read it to find out if that young woman was a true princess. The moral behind this story is there are dangers to jumping to conclusions without knowing all the facts. If you stop in the Palmer branch this week, I have a special craft on The Princess and the Pea. You can pick it up and go home and enjoy doing it. So I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.